What is going on YouTube? Hayden back making another brand new Crypto TV episode. What is going on YouTube? Hayden back making another brand new Crypto TV episode. What is going on YouTube? Hayden back making another brand new Crypto TV episode. And in today's video, we have to continue from where we left off. This morning, I made a video literally talking about how I made a shocking discovery, how these cryptos are next up to break. Ethereum and XRP are up next, and it could have taken as early as today or as late as 2 weeks from today. But you can see Ethereum decided to make its move, and the dumpage is starting to take place. And it isn't just Ethereum, it's also XRP that's starting to see this major reversal and dump to the downside here. And it's unfortunate, but it is what we were talking about just this morning here. As I've said, these are continuation patterns, and typically when markets dump into a continuation, they usually pop out on the other side in the same manner that we entered them. So XRP is a prime example of this. We fell into a symmetrical triangle here, and we typically break out of it the same way. And I mean, it doesn't get any more textbook than that. The break to the downside is happening. It's still not too late to be taking advantage of this here, but I wanted to update you guys. Now, Ethereum is definitely one of the interesting ones. This is more of a bull flag, or no, not a bull flag, some sort of like pennant flag here. Again, we did talk about the opportunities and the possibilities of seeing this break to the upside here. However, the problem was of how aggressive this was. Markets looked like they needed to correct after all this movement here. You can see the major consolidation taking place. Things are getting squeezed, and it was getting ready to pop, and it just did exactly that. We had the major dump to the downside here. It was definitely a tough one to get in on, but once we confirmed closure just a couple of hours ago right here, that was that opportunity to buy in for a short, and since then we have just been landslide dumping to the downside, and it is absolute mayhem. And it's not just on these cryptos. XRP, massive dump. Ethereum, massive dump. We have Bitcoin starting to see its massive dump. Now, this is still within a very solid uptrend. Keep that in mind. You can see on Bitcoin, if we jump to the 4 hour here, we look really good still. I mean, it was expected here. I was like, things are still a bit airy on Bitcoin, but there's a good chance that we are going to start to, rebound a bit lower here, and this is why it made total sense here. So I have a lot to go over and cover in today's video. But that being said, smash that like button, turn on post notifications, subscribe, and let's get into today's episode. Super quick, before we dive into the technical analysis, remember, FAIRDESK is where I've been recently posting my cryptocurrency trades. So if you want to learn how to copy, or if you want to learn how to trade, or just copy trade in the most passive way there is, I'm posting my trades on FAIRDESK. It's Crypto TV. That's my name. Just look it up on copy trade here, and you'll be able to copy my trades and see all my trades as they get posted publicly right there. So make sure to check that out. They also have a sign-up bonus of over $2,000 you can get for free if this would let me slide. What is going on here? Oh, it reset. That's lovely here. But they're giving away, I believe, up to like 100K in free bonus money here. Simple deposits, $100, $1,000, $25. In smaller amounts, you can actually earn quite a bit in futures bonus and fee in free crypto. So definitely make sure to check that out with the link down in the description below. It's so crazy this is all happening at once. I didn't have everything prepared here. But make sure to check out FAIRDESK. Anywho, it's not just XRP that's dumping. It's not just Ethereum. Bitcoin is not the only one dumping here. Solana is too. And this had the major landslide. It was actually something I wasn't expecting here. And this is why it really doesn't matter when you buy in. It really doesn't matter which way we go, because we can still take advantage of these short and long opportunities here. We had a beautiful flag pull, lower high, lower low pattern here, and we discussed if we confirm closure above resistance, we can buy in and long. If we close below support, we can buy in and long and short. And you can see here with this confirmation closure on this hourly candle here, once we confirm closure right here, which was literally 30 minutes ago here, that was the entry point for a short. And since then, we had a massive landslide dump to the downside here. Easy way to capitalize off these runs here, and hopefully you guys took advantage of it. Again, it's not too late. We're talking, it only happened about 30 minutes ago here, so this is a good opportunity to get in on what's most likely going to be heading even lower to the downside here. So keep this in mind, as we are most likely going to be falling lower and lower and lower. We jump to the 4 hour. You can see the correction is starting to take place here, back down to support. And guess where it's hitting? The uptrend, just like that. You can see if we jump to the daily here, we're going right back down to the bottom support here. Good chance we'll retest that, which we already did. But you can see how consistently for Solana, we use this support all the time. It's all the time. Ever since the bottom, we've been using this as a means of climbing. Stair-stepping stones, climbing up, climbing up, climbing up. It was only a matter of time before we come back down and retest it. We're doing exactly that. So it was no surprise that we now rebounded off bottom support. And hopefully if we can hang out there, that means that there's nowhere else to go at that point but up. So it'll be very interesting to see how we pan out and play around with these other things. I'm going to delete these for the time being as we already capitalized off them. But you can see from now on, we're starting to rebound off support here. The short was still an opportunity to take advantage of off this beautiful, what was a bull flag, but just descending fractal that fell downwards here. But again, consolidation is taking place, but these were easy buy-in opportunities. Now, the biggest surprise, the biggest factor was the XRP chart that had a beautiful symmetrical triangle. Like I said, the R continuation patterns, we do fall out of them usually or break out of them if we end up climbing into it this way. We break out, but this was the opposite, so it was pretty obvious here. But the biggest one, the most difficult one, is the fact to get over, at least, is the fact that this is a daily consolidative pattern, but the major run happened all within a day. So it's very hard to jump into these because it happens so quickly here. But if you jump to like the 3 hour, the 4 hour, you can see the closure. The signs were there. We had the closure right here, and even that was a little bit risky. We jumped to like the hourly charts here. You can see again, we had the closure that shows signs of correction here, but this might just be the start. There's a good chance we might continue to skew lower to the downside here as time moves on, but it's absolutely nuts. We nailed it right on the head that this would typically break in some sort of big volume injection. In this case, it was a rejection, getting sucked out of it, and volume just fully removed itself. Now, I'm sure there's some rule or some news coming out if we type in Bitcoin news, something that came out that said why we just corrected here. I'm not entirely sure. Schizophrenic new U.S. job rate. That's what they're talking about, that the U.S. job data had a reason for the correction here. It says U.S. added 272K jobs in May, blowing past estimates. Bitcoin pulls back. Like, there's no relation to it, so I have no idea. Far stronger than expected U.S. jobs ads are likely to put a damper on ideas of imminent Fed rate cuts. Bitcoin and stock bonds have all turned lower in response to the fresh data here. I don't think there's a correlation. It just happened to come out at the same time. You know, we get that. There's news every single day, so when something happens in the market, they just tie it to that. And I don't think there's any correlation there. But you can see here, even on something like Bitcoin on the 4 hour, this was anticipated. As we said, we had this uptrend here clear as day, and we knew clear as day that we would come into contact with it yet again. And look at it. So beautifully fell right down to retest that support. And it's absolutely perfect. The great part is if we can close somewhere over here, guess what we're going to be doing tomorrow? Going to be longing it back to the upside here because we're going to hold on to this support really, really, really nicely. Hopefully we close around here. Good chance. And then we're going to start a reversal and start to swing back to the upside here. And that's probably where I see a lot of these cryptos moving to, although Ethereum might have a little bit longer to go here. Although then again, it just retested its moving average. So I think a lot of these cryptos are due to rebound fairly soon. Same thing goes with XRP. XRP coming into contact with its daily here. Let's jump to the weekly and see how this looks. Yeah, there's a good chance we're actually going to recede higher. Reason being is we have this beautiful uptrend here we haven't been able to break. So there's a good chance from the price right now, 48 cents, we're going to actually reverse back up to here by the end of the day, probably at least by the end of the week. Actually, that's in 2 days. So there's a good chance we're actually going to reverse right up to here. I'm going to call this right now. I would expect us to come back up to this uptrend. I know we just dumped really aggressively here, but it just doesn't look accurate on the weekly charts. So there's a good chance I'll put my target in. We're going to close right around this level today, and we'll see if that happens. But I think we're going to reverse up. This little scare factor is not going to last that long. You can already see things like Solana are starting to correct to the upside here. But I just had to jump on and let you guys know about this crazy monstrosity of a movement here. So I think that's it. I think this is the lowest point, but this is what we were anticipating, a dump. But now pretty much we've just flashed oversold on every single crypto, and there's a good chance now we're going to start the rebound up. A lot of these things are all showing signs of reversal to come here. So I'm excited with that. Time to get in on some long trades. Even though we missed out on the dump, doesn't mean you can't miss out on the run to the upside here. So that's very exciting. But with that being said, smash that like button. Hopefully you like this quick update, and I'll see you in the next video. Hopefully that's tomorrow, but we'll see. Peace.